This YouTube channel is called Brambles. Brambles because of the fact that I have a pet sheep called Brambles. We've got Gibson here.
Hello.
Um, right.
Yes, I'm saying hello for the point of it. Gosh.
um, right. So, right. So, what do you think of my sheep? Because I mean, you've not seen him, but like, I've talked a lot about my sheep before.
You have, but Brambles is pretty much the only sheep I care about that is in your flock.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, he is colourful. He's an odd sheep. I didn't get like those standard, black and white sheep or white sheep. It's kind of like a normal sheep, don't you think?
If he's limping, I would say he's not normal.
He's not limping anymore. I mean, I got that. He's not. Well, he's just a bit graceful when he walks compared to a normal sheep. He doesn't walk like a normal sheep. Um, he um, he recently had two. We had two babies, which we lost sadly, but that is what happens in life with sheep. And well, with them, had gained a lot of weight. Right, so yeah, right. So what would you say, Gibson? Is a normal pet to have? Because I've seen a lot of people get odd pets nowadays.
Well, it'll be a dog first, won't it? It will be a dog, and then it will be a cat. That's
Yeah,
the most normal.
yeah, but people get like odd pets. Like, oh, you get your standard pet, which is like, oh, you get your Labrador or a or what else? Oh, like a wee Scotty dog or something like that. But then you got people who've gone like all Game of Thrones and gone, oh, I want a husky, and they're going like
Husky's
huskies.
not Game of Thrones, and Huskies is a very regular,
Is
popular
it?
dog.
I thought huskies were just odd. I thought
Huskies
huskies.
are Huskies, I would say, are probably the most closest thing to the original dogs we had.
I thought that was the shepherd dogs, the black and white ones. You know the.
Right, you do realize old dogs are descendants from wolves, right?
I thought it was the other way around.
No.
Okay.
We domesticated some wolves and then we bred them for our own purposes, and then over time, especially during the period of Victorian England, I think,
All right.
um, people started breeding them mainly for personal entertainment, basically.
So we took a wild animal and just basically wanted to use it as an amusement for ourselves.
Yep. In fact,
What?
we've almost got to the point where we're getting to a point where you could argue we've been breeding them to a point of extinction.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like
I wouldn't say extinction, but like, I mean, we're growing them into like
bred
a
with
wee,
each other.
yeah, breed with each other, like using them as like a, yeah. I mean, I watched a Netflix show that basically talked about he decided to have um pet foxes, pet tigers and stuff, and
Oh,
what was it called? King
open my
Tiger
suggestion
King.
on Netflix. I know
Yeah,
which one you're
Tiger
talking
King.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I haven't watched it.
Well, basically, what it was he decided to have like these big tigers and stuff, and have them as pets, and I just look at that and I go, that is pretty much. I mean, you're turning him into a pet,
Yeah,
like.
well, all animals were domesticated, but the, I think we've gotten to the point in which animals we can domesticate and which animals we can't. And I don't believe tigers and lions we can actually domesticate. I'm sure there will be the exceptions, but
Yeah, I mean, like, there's. I mean, you could have like. I mean, there's someone who, oddly enough, where I live, on a high street, owns a shop where they used to own which is a children's clothes shop, and as a pet, she's a perfect old elderly lady, and her husband owned a bear. And I'm sitting there going, why would you own a bear? I mean,
Which country was this?
Scotland.
A bear.
Yeah, a bear. Literally, like
I struggled to believe.
I know. There was a documentary on STV about the bears and what it was like taken care of. And the guy was a former wrestler and stuff, and he was a big guy who owned it.
Some big dude.
Big dude. But I just looked at that and I went, "That's." I mean, one day you could wake up one morning and it could have escaped, and well, that's it. That's you done for. I mean, you can't exactly win against a bear unless you had a gun. But even then,
people have fought bears, but one-on-one, I would say it's unlikely.
Yeah,
Unless
I
you
mean,
have,
imagine
modern
waking up
equipment.
one day and go, "Oh, look, the bears escaped. What we're gonna do?" I mean, it's not like a dog. I mean, if a dog's escaped, then you're like, "Oh, we're best look for it." I mean, you're not gonna. You're gonna have to like call the police and go, "Excuse me, sir, we've kind of got a bear on the loose." Oh, but yeah, it's weird pets that you get. I mean,
Owning bears and stuff, I would mainly think is more of an American thing. You see in
yeah,
America than you would see
yeah.
in any British region.
But it's becoming like the norm. Like more and more people are owning. Like if you go into Dubai, they've got leopards and they've got tigers and stuff all over, and
Oh,
that's just
but
a
D- D-
whole weird world.
Dubai are rich as hell.
Yeah, they're rich as hell and they can afford to live and buy a leopard and treat it and stuff. And but it's just
It,
becoming more and more norm.
you owning animals aren't normally domesticated,
Hmm.
um, such as a bear, tigers, lions, you name it.
Hmm.
More of a pop cultural thing where you see like rock stars once they get to the
Yeah,
top of
yeah,
their
yeah,
fame, they start
yeah, yeah,
going mental.
yeah. I mean, Mike Tyson, he owned a tiger at one point. He owned two tigers, and I mean, he's a big guy, so he could have done that. But I mean, it's just becoming like when you get people owning these stuff, and it's becoming more and more normal to buy and own these stuff. You then just go. I mean, surely it's going to save them from extinction, but they're not exactly going to be able to live in the wild and stuff.
You own, you're owning more than sheep.
Yeah, I own. Yeah, because I mean, I've got more than sheep. I own I own four ducks, which can't fly, so kind of like they're not free to do what they want, but they're free to do what they want, but they can't exactly like fly away from our house because they can't fly because they're too fat. Um, I mean, we feed them enough. We kind of spoil them a bit, but they're too fat, and the breed of duck just doesn't fly. So we do like that. And they do give us a lot of eggs. Love the eggs, but just maybe a bit too much for us as a family to enjoy. And we're struggling to sell because like they're not your normal. You don't usually. I mean, do you usually eat duck eggs?
No, but they are on sale in typically
Yeah. Well, not many people buy
farm
them. Yeah.
restaurants
Yeah,
and shops.
farm shops and stuff. They usually sell like chickens and they do sell ducks, but they're not that popular, and that's why you kind of struggle to sell them a bit, and get rid of them. But and the other thing is because I really like the taste of duck. I mean, I wouldn't say to my ducks, "Oh, I wouldn't eat my ducks. I would never in my life, even if one of them was to sadly pass away, I would never eat my ducks."
I would.
Um, yeah, I know you would. You've never seen them. Even if one of them's named after you, you would eat that one.
That's the first one I would be eating.
Yeah, that might be the first one to go, knowing the fact that it just does its own wee thing and does a whole hiking expedition.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if a fox was to take you away. Anyway, what else have I got? I have a what was it miniature cavapoo, which I didn't realize you get miniature cavapoos up until I walked.
What's a cavapoo?
Oh, it's a mixture between a poodle and a what's it called? It's a Shih Tzu. Yeah, so a cross between a
So
poodle.
it's a dog breed.
Yeah, people have bred it to be a tiny little fur ball, and it's pretty much a living teddy. I look at it and its face and everything. It is a living teddy, and my sisters adore it, and it goes everywhere in the house, and it gets away with murder because of the fact that it's got that cute little face and stuff.